Get that shit out my face before I shove it up your ass.
You ready to get out of here, Jensen?
Yeah, take us back to Sarif Industries.
None too soon, if you ask me. Strap in and hold on.
Jensen, I need to speak with you. Meet me in your office right away.
I'd love to, Francis, but I have to debrief Sarif first.
I suppose you could, or you could hear what I have to say and see if that doesn't change things. Pritchard out.
I can't believe it, Jensen. An internment camp smack dab in the middle of Detroit. Shit. You know, people have been talking about these kind of things ever since I was a kid. But to actually find evidence, to know the people running this country distrust us so much, makes you wonder if they really did close Guantanamo. You know, people have been talking about these kind of things ever since I was a kid. But to actually find...
Bob Page, was also spotted powwowing with United Nations delegates, this time outside the international organization's New York headquarters. I don't know about you folks, but it suggests to me that we may be finally seeing some action in the ongoing debate over human enhancement technology. Why else would some of the world's foremost experts in augmentation sciences be meeting with delegates in secret? This is Eliza Kassan reporting to you live from Picus.
We need everyone on high alert. It's not only the pro-augs who might want to get at Taggart, but the ones against them too.
You're saying that pro-human activists might see this visit as treachery?
I'm just saying anything is possible, so keep your eyes out for suspicious characters.
Right.
No one relaxes until Taggart and his entourage are out of the building. Got it covered here, boss. Don't you worry.
Jensen, I thought Sarif sent you home hours ago. It's not working.
Damn that Taggart. He's the one who incited those radicals, you know. He may as well have ordered them to do it. I don't understand how anyone could attack David Sarif after all he's done for the city.
The guy's my hero all of a sudden, but there was just something about Taggart that I found a little mesmerizing.
He's a bigot, Walt.
I know, but he did this thing. I asked him if this was his first time in Detroit, and he started telling me how he came here in '06 for the last game of the ALCS. You know, when Kenny Rogers was spraying champagne everywhere?
I hate baseball.
So while he's telling me this, Denny comes over and tries to ask him something, but Taggart just holds up a hand, turns to me and says, "Excuse me, will you?" I thought it was a pretty polite gesture for somebody everyone keeps calling superior.
I'm sure Mussolini was polite too.
Jensen, did you happen to bump into Bill Taggart yet? I'd love to hear your impression of him. Man's got charisma, that's for sure. His aide looked a little nervous, though.
Amazing. Even people in this company are hypnotized by Taggart's charm.
What do you want?
As much as I hate to admit it, I need your help. That signal you shut down in DRB territory. It's been active for almost a year.
You're telling me someone outside this company has had access to our network since before the first attack?
I've detected intrusions before and shut them down swiftly every time. But whoever designed this particular algorithm is good. Very good.
You've told Sarif?
See, here's the thing. The intrusions were possible because of a backdoor access into our security system that I never even knew existed.
The one Sanders' team used to get inside our plant.
I've worked here for 7 years, Jensen, and this is the first time I've seen that particular access route. David Sarif created it specifically to bypass the firewall. He's hiding something, and I think you should find out what it is.
Why me?
Because, as far as I can tell, Sarif created that access and was streaming a lot of data through it shortly after your ex-girlfriend suggested he hire you. Don't you have some investigating to do?
Excuse me.
Mr. Jensen, isn't it?
Sir, you have that charity dinner?
In a moment, Isaiah. I was hoping I might run into you, Mr. Jensen. Bill Taggart.
The founder of the Humanity Front. I know who you are.
Yes. Yes, I imagine you do. As David Saraff's top security man, I imagine you have quite the file on me. But I assure you, Mr. Jensen, I am devastated by recent events.
Really?
I do not support what you and your company are doing to mankind. I believe it's extremely dangerous. But abolishing human enhancement technologies will only be achieved through legal means.
I'll keep that in mind.
This is your first day back since the accident 6 months ago, isn't it?
Sir, we have to go. What happened to me was no accident.
Ah, my mistake. But it must have been stressful facing down a second incident so soon. I imagine it brought back all kinds of unpleasant memories.
I appreciate your concern, Mr. Taggart, but it was nothing I couldn't handle.
I'm a psychologist, Mr. Jensen. I know when a man is hiding behind words. The flesh may heal, but the mind is not always so resilient. You might want to keep that in mind. Now, if you'll be so kind as to excuse me.
I'm curious about something, Mr. Taggart. What is it you hope to accomplish by coming here tonight?
I would think that would be obvious. Your company has been viciously targeted. The violence and bloodshed that's occurred, it must be stopped. But I'm afraid it won't be until men of wisdom and understanding come to an agreement.
About what?
About the future, Mr. Jensen. This enhancement technology threatens to change the course of human evolution, to redefine what it even means to be human. You think governments can afford to let that go unregulated?
You can't stop progress, Mr. Taggart.
Perhaps not. But neither can we afford to sit by and watch it happen on its own. Not when we have the ability, the collective will, and foresight to influence it.
I see. Thank you for illuminating me.
Anytime. I'm glad we had a chance to talk, Mr. Jensen. Meeting you has been very informative. You will think on what I said, won't you?
You're Taggart's aide, aren't you? Dr. Isaiah Sandoval, isn't it?
No need to play ignorant, Mr. Jensen. I am quite sure you have a file on me that's as thick as the one you have on Mr. Taggart.
You're an outspoken activist in your own right, Dr. Sandoval.
When you have seen the things that I have, you find you have no choice but to stand up and be counted. Frankly, I am surprised an ex-cop like yourself isn't more disturbed by the dangers of this technology.
Augmentations help a lot of people, Doc. Handicapped, war vets.
Yes, but at what cost? My own friend had his life ruined by these so-called enhancements of yours. A man much like you who had no choice but to become augmented. Yet once he was... Too much power can make you do terrible things, Mr. Jensen. I suggest you think long and hard on that.
I'd like to hear more about your friend, Dr. Sandoval. What exactly did he do?
Nothing.
Was he injured in the Gulf?
He went on a rampage in a shopping mall, if you must know. Hoping to be gunned down by the police, rather than face a lifetime battling augmentation addiction.
He was addicted to augments?
They don't talk about it in those corporate brochures of yours, do they? Neuroposine dependency, rejection psychosis, any number of physical and psychological ills have resulted from this technology, and yet we rarely hear a word about them.
I'm sure the literature is out there.
No thanks to the throng of corporate lawyers attempting to stop it.
Your friend, did he succeed? Did he suicide by cop?
No. Bill Taggart talked him down. I am sure you are very busy, Mr. Jensen, as are Mr. Taggart and I. I trust you will think on what I have said.
Athena, you've been at this company a long time.
I hope that's not a comment about my age, Adam.
No. But I know nothing gets by you. If Saraff had done something that could compromise us...
Mr. Saraff has only the best interests of this company in mind, Adam.
I'm not questioning that.
Aren't you? I've been here since the beginning. I've seen how he built this up from nothing. He cares for his people. He truly believes what we're doing is important, and he would never do anything to jeopardize it.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, you shouldn't have. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm busy.
Boss, we need to talk.
Is something wrong?
I'm not sure. Did you set up a private access route to bypass the company firewall right before you hired me?
What?
Pritchard said someone's been using it to access our system since before the first attack. The security measures he and I set in place never stopped them because we didn't even know the loophole existed.
Oh, I see. Frank's fixed that, though, right?
He has now, but he's wondering why you never mentioned it.
Frank's paranoid, Adam. You know that. Can a busy man forget things once in a while?
You streamed an awful lot of data through that portal, boss. Right before you brought me on board. Pritchard may be paranoid, but I gotta admit, I'm wondering what was in it too.
Yeah, as an ex-cop, I guess you would. But the important thing is you found the hole and plugged it. We're secure now. And the information you uncovered in that FEMA facility may actually help us track these guys. So let's just stay focused on what's important.
I want to, believe me. I want to catch these guys as badly as you do. But that breach is responsible for every security crisis we've had, including today's. If you want me to stop these guys, I need to know what kind of data they've had access to.
You're right. I'm sorry if I seem evasive. The truth is, I've had a lot of other things on my mind. I'm trying to secure a future here for all of mankind. I can't let trivial security concerns get in the way when people like Bill Taggart want to see me fail. No, you're my best warrior, Adam, and I trust you. I know the loyalty you've shown me will only continue as we take this fight into the future, because that's what's really important, isn't it? The future.
Boss, I think we're getting sidetracked here. If you want me to win this war for you, I need to know how badly we've been compromised. I need to know what was in that data stream, in case our enemies accessed it.
You think they could have? I see your point, son. That might be bad. Look, I'm not going to share every single detail of this data with you. As CEO of this company, there are things I can't release, even to you, Frank, or Athena. I consider us all a team here, but we each have our own roles to fill. I decide who gets trusted with what, and in this case, you're just gonna have to do your job without knowing all the facts. Megan said you could roll with the punches. Prove she was right.
Megan? Boss, what does Megan have to do with any of this? I thought we were discussing a security breach.
No, Adam. You were discussing it. I just told you it's time to move on. I can understand why the mention of Megan's name gets your hackles up. She did break your heart after all. But the data I streamed was a routine, fact-finding check carried out after one of our many late-night discussions, and I don't see how knowing the content of it will make you better equipped for your job. Honestly, Adam. You're starting to appear as jealous as Frank. Just trust me with this one.
I would like nothing better than to trust you with this, boss. But trust is a two-way street, and the way you've handled this entire conversation so far makes me think that it's you who isn't trusting me. Why, boss? What is it you're so afraid to tell me?
Adam, of course I trust you, son. And it's not that I'm afraid to tell you the truth. It's just that, honestly, I'm afraid you'll take it the wrong way. All right. Look, the truth is, I set up a confidential data channel for a private investigator, someone who can run covert background checks on people. Potential new recruits, like you.
You what?
I had to, Adam. You were a liability, remember? You'd just been fired from SWAT. Now, Megan believed in you, but I had to be sure. Look, I don't want this to come between us. I'll send the files to your computer. You can see for yourself what he dug up. But Adam, you'd better be sure.
Why? What do you mean?
I mean, sometimes the past should stay in the past. Once you see that data, you can't unring the bell. When you're ready, come back and talk to me. We need to discuss our next move.
Athena tells me you spoke to Sarif. Did he happen to tell you why he made us look like idiots?
I'm handling it.
You can imagine how relieved I am to hear that. I'll tell you what. While you follow any lead Sarif spoon feeds you, I'm going to do what I should have done in the first place and backtrace that signal.
That's your pride talking. Still, get back to me if you find something.
You meant when?
Pretty sure I didn't.
Here, this is for you. It's a corporate passport encoded with your biometrics. I've set up a false flag routing which should get you to Henshaw Island without any problems.
You're sending me to China? What about FEMA?
FEMA's got nothing to do with this, trust me. We'll have better luck in China.
How can you say that? I saw the bastard who killed Megan pulling his men out of that facility. I left one of those men dead in its underground storage bay.
I know that, Adam. Frank was monitoring the whole thing. So I also know that before he died, that man gave you an address in China. I want you to check it out.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, Adam. There's a reason this company's under attack. You think it has to do with the Typhoon or with some other top-secret military project that I haven't told you about?
The thought had crossed my mind.
Yeah, well, it doesn't. The work Megan's team was doing before they were killed, it was redefining what it means to be human. This company, Seraph Industries, was about to lead mankind to its next stage in human development. Self-controlled evolution. Can't you see how scary that can be to some people?
Sure. I also see how lucrative it can be for some others.
It's never been about money for me, Adam. But you're right. There are people out there who don't exactly feel the same.
Like who?
I'm hoping you'll be able to find that answer for us in China. So get going. Farida's prepping the chopper. You have your orders, Adam. Meet Farida at the helipad as soon as you're ready to leave.
Hey, Mr. Jensen.
Hey, honey.
Cindy left for the night about an hour ago. So did most of the others. I guess you know your way around by now, though, right?
The limb demonstration ended hours ago.
I got the front desk, but don't expect me to take any phone calls. That ain't in my contract.
Calming down. At least here. Okay, I'll be home.
What'll it be? See you soon.
serious?
Goddamn.
What's your pleasure, friend? Always a pleasure. What's your pleasure, friend? Always a pleasure.
I heard they want to give David Seraph the key to the city. Something about the city's rebirth. Some savior, sitting up there in his ivory tower while half the city is starving.
You did a good thing, Jensen. Once a good cop, always a good cop, huh?
Take a look.
I'm a friend of Greg Thorpe.
Really? Okay, I give you the egghead discount. Okay, that's it.
Access granted.
Thank you, Adam.
Before you ask, no. Your mirror has not been replaced, Mr. Jensen. Today I've had to deal with petty vandalism, unreasonable demands from corporate clients, and a variety of other pressing problems. So facilitating your grooming had to be given a lower priority.
Welcome home, Mr. Jensen. Reestablishing security system. See you soon, Mr. D.
Before you ask, no. Your mirror has not been replaced, Mr. Jensen. Today I've had to deal with petty vandalism, unreasonable demands from corporate clients, and a variety of other pressing problems. So facilitating your grooming had to be given a lower priority.
Welcome to the Detroit Automated.
Come on, babe.
What's the deal, baby? Need something? I'd much rather get with you than go and D-row.
What'll it be? See you soon.
Welcome to Live
Sorry,
International.
but I'm in the middle of something.
Would you say the police were overly violent?
Overly violent? I don't know. The crowd was getting pretty hostile.
But there was violence, right? The police did physically strike some of the protesters, right?
Well, sort of. I mean, some people were shoving the police shields, and the cops had to shove back, but nobody really got hit, I don't think.
So the cops shoved people down. Very good. Thank you. Big news day in Detroit. A hostage taking and a protest? Might bump the regulation debate out of the headline slot. Of course, they're all the same story, aren't they?
Wow. Sorry, I was just looking at that scar on your head.
I'm just getting a minor neuroprosthetic upgrade, but even so, it's stressful. Of course, it helps knowing my vision will improve when it's done.
I saw the news this evening. Am I to assume that Seraph has you running around getting shot at again?
It's my job to get shot at. It's his to tell me when.
Does he feel your pain for you too?
He pays for my insurance, so I guess he does.
He pays for many things. This clinic, for example, could not operate nearly as well as it does without the financial generosity of our corporate sponsors. David Seraph being one of them. The same can be said of every limb facility worldwide.
You trying to tell me something, Doc?
Only that everybody, myself included, can be made vulnerable to suggestion if certain pressures are applied. As your doctor, I hope you will remember that the decision to undergo neuroprosthetic surgery must always be your own.
I'll keep that in mind.
I sincerely hope you do. As you know, it is considered bad business to spend money and expect nothing in return.
Welcome to LIM International, providing information.
I'm sorry. We're having a private conversation here.
You looking for something?
Hey, honey.
VersaLife CEO Bob Page was also spotted powwowing with United Nations delegates, this time outside the international organization.